Hey there, conversation connoisseurs. Are you tired of awkward silences and lackluster chit-chat? Well, get ready to upgrade your dialogue game because in today's video, we're serving up the ultimate guide on how to be a better conversationalist. From mastering the mindset shifts needed to captivate any audience to unleashing irresistible conversation hacks that will leave others hanging on your every word, we've got you covered. So, whether you're a seasoned small talker or a shy wallflower, prepare to unlock the secrets to effortless and engaging communication. Let's dive in and transform your chats from dull to dazzling. 1. Mindset Makeover. Rewrite your inner dialogue. Let's cut the fluff and get real, shall we? Being a great conversationalist isn't some mystical talent reserved for the charismatic few. It's a skill that can be learned, honed, and mastered by anyone willing to put in the work. And trust me, the payoff is worth it. We're talking about the ability to charm the pants off anyone you meet, figuratively speaking, of course. Imagine being that person who can effortlessly navigate any social situation, leaving a trail of captivated listeners in your wake. The life of the party, the networking ninja, the smooth operator who can strike up a conversation with a brick wall and have it hanging on your every word. Sounds pretty darn appealing, doesn't it? But here's the brutal truth. It all starts with a mindset makeover. If you're constantly feeding yourself a steady diet of negative self-talk and self-doubt, you might as well hang up your conversational hat right now. Because let's be real, if you don't believe you're interesting, why should anyone else? It's time to kick that inner critic to the curb and start reprogramming your mind with some positive affirmations. Repeat after me. I am an engaging, witty, and captivating conversationalist. People are drawn to my charm and charisma like moths to a flame. Okay, maybe that's a bit much, but you get the idea. Fake it till you make it, baby. Now, being a great conversationalist isn't just about having a vast knowledge of random facts or being able to recite the entire script of Mean Girls verbatim. Although, let's be real, that's a pretty impressive party trick. It's about being present, actively listening, and finding common ground with the person you're talking to. Think about it. We've all been on the receiving end of a one-sided conversation where the other person just drones on and on, oblivious to our glazed-over expressions. That's not a conversation, that's a monologue, and it's about as engaging as watching paint dry. Instead, focus on asking questions, picking up on cues, and finding ways to relate to the other person's experiences. Share your own stories, but don't monopolize the conversation. It's a delicate dance, but once you get the hang of it, you'll be the life of every party, networking event, or awkward family gathering. And let's not forget the power of body language and non-verbal cues. Lean in, make eye contact, and nod along to show you're engaged. Throw in a well-timed laugh or a playful nudge to keep things light and fun. Remember, conversation is a two-way street, and you want to make the other person feel heard, understood, and entertained. Look, being a conversational rock star isn't going to happen overnight. It's going to take practice, patience, and a willingness to put yourself out there and embrace the occasional awkward moment. But trust me, the payoff is worth it. Because at the end of the day, the ability to connect with others, to captivate and engage is one of the most valuable skills you can possess. So, what are you waiting for? It's time to ditch the small talk and start mastering the art of conversation. Who knows, you might just charm your way into a new job, a new relationship, or at the very least, a few free drinks at the bar. Just don't take the charming the pants off thing too literally. We're aiming for engaging conversation, not indecent exposure charges. 2. Embrace curiosity, ditch judgment. Unleash your inner inquisitor and banish those judgmental whispers. Alright, my fellow conversational connoisseurs, let's talk about the secret to becoming a people magnet. And no, it's not about memorizing a million random facts or mastering the art of small talk, although those certainly don't hurt. Nope, the real key to captivating conversations lies in one simple word: curiosity. Think about it. Have you ever been in a conversation where the other person was more interested in the sound of their own voice than actually listening to what you had to say? It's like they've got a mental checklist of topics they're determined to cover, and heaven forbid you try to steer the dialogue in a different direction. Talk about a conversational buzzkill, am I right? But what if I told you that the secret to being a better conversationalist is to ditch the judgment, embrace your inner inquisitor, and let your curiosity run wild? Because let's be real, people love to talk about themselves, and when you show a genuine interest in their lives, experiences, and perspectives, it's like you've unlocked the key to their conversational kingdom. Now, I know what you're thinking, but what if I ask the wrong question? What if they think I'm just being nosy? Well, my friends, that's where the art of curious questioning comes in. It's not about grilling the other person like they're on trial. It's about approaching the conversation with a genuine desire to learn and understand. Think about the last time you were with a group of friends and someone started asking you questions about your job, your hobbies, or your weekend plans. Chances are you didn't feel interrogated or judged. You felt heard, validated, and maybe even a little bit flattered that someone was taking an interest in your life. And let's not forget the power of active listening. When you truly focus on what the other person is saying, instead of just waiting for your turn to speak, you open the door to deeper, more meaningful connections. You pick up on subtle cues, ask follow-up questions, and show that you're engaged and invested in the conversation. But here's the brutal truth, my friends. Curiosity isn't just a conversational superpower, it's a mindset. It's about letting go of those judgmental whispers in your head and embracing a genuine interest in the people around you. Because let's be real, the more you focus on learning about others, the less you'll be worrying about how you're being perceived. So the next time you find yourself in a social situation, don't be afraid to unleash your inner inquisitor. Ask questions, listen intently, and let your curiosity guide the conversation. Who knows, you might just discover a hidden passion, a shared interest, or even a new lifelong friend. And if you happen to stumble a bit along the way, don't sweat it. Conversational mastery isn't something that happens overnight. It's a skill that takes practice, patience, and a willingness to put yourself out there. But trust me, the payoff is worth it. Because when you embrace curiosity and ditch the judgment, you open the door to a whole new world of captivating conversations and meaningful connections. Just remember to keep it genuine, keep it relatable, and for the love of all that is holy, don't forget to have a little fun with it. Because let's be real, what's the point of being a conversational ninja if you can't keep your audience entertained? 3. Flip the script, it's not about you. Shift from how do I sound to how can I listen? Alright, you self-absorbed social butterflies, listen up, because I'm about to let you in on a little secret that's going to change the way you approach every single interaction from here on out. Ready for it? Here it is. Being a better conversationalist isn't about dazzling monologues or trying to be the most interesting person in the room. Nope, it's all about flipping the script and making it all about the other person. Think about it. Have you ever been in a conversation where the other person was so busy trying to impress you with their wit, their knowledge, or their endless list of accomplishments that you felt like you were just a captive audience waiting for your turn to speak? It's like they've got a mental checklist of topics they're determined to cover, and heaven forbid you try to steer the dialogue in a different direction. Talk about a conversational buzzkill, am I right? But what if I told you that the secret to being a better conversationalist is to shift your focus from how do I sound to how can I listen? Because let's be real, people love to talk about themselves, and when you show a genuine interest in their lives, experiences, and perspectives, it's like you've unlocked the key to their conversational kingdom. Now, I know what you're thinking, but what if I run out of things to say? What if the conversation starts to drag? Well, my friends, that's where the art of curious questioning comes in. It's not about grilling the other person like they're on trial. It's about approaching the conversation with a genuine desire to learn and understand. Think about the last time you were with a group of friends and someone started asking you questions about your job, your hobbies, or your weekend plans. Chances are you didn't feel interrogated or judged. You felt heard, validated, and maybe even a little bit flattered that someone was taking an interest in your life. And let's not forget the power of active listening. When you truly focus on what the other person is saying, instead of just waiting for your turn to speak, you open the door to deeper, more meaningful connections. You pick up on subtle cues, ask follow-up questions, and show that you're engaged and invested in the conversation. But here's the brutal truth, my friends. Making it all about the other person isn't just a conversational superpower, it's a mindset. It's about letting go of that constant need to be the center of attention and embracing a genuine curiosity about the people around you. Because let's be real, the more you focus on learning about others, the less you'll be worrying about how you're being perceived. And let's be honest, if you can't figure this out, you might as well just resign yourself to a lifetime of awkward silences and involuntary celibacy. Because let's face it, being a self-absorbed conversational dud isn't exactly a panty dropper. So, the next time you find yourself in a social situation, don't be afraid to toss the spotlight onto your conversation partner. Ask questions, listen intently, and let your curiosity guide the dialogue. Who knows, you might just discover a hidden passion, a shared interest, or even a new lifelong friend. And if you happen to stumble a bit along the way, don't sweat it. Conversational mastery isn't something that happens overnight. It's a skill that takes practice, patience, and a willingness to put yourself out there. But trust me, the payoff is worth it, because when you make it all about the other person, you open the door to a whole new world of captivating conversations and meaningful connections. Just remember to keep it genuine, keep it relatable, and for the love of all that is holy, don't forget to have a little fun with it. Because let's be real, what's the point of being a conversational ninja if you can't keep your audience entertained? 4. Banish the awkward elephant. Spoiler alert, awkward moments are universal. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. And no, I'm not referring to your uncle's questionable dance moves at the family reunion. I'm talking about the dreaded awkward moment, the conversational kryptonite that can strike fear into the heart of even the most seasoned social butterfly. But hold up, my friends, because I'm about to let you in on a little secret. Those awkward moments, they're not just universal, they're downright essential to becoming a better conversationalist. In fact, I'd argue that the best stories, the ones that leave your audience in stitches, often start with a good old-fashioned cringe-worthy twist. Think about it. Have you ever been in a conversation where everything was flowing smoothly, the witty banter was on point, and then suddenly, bam! You hit a conversational pothole and the whole thing grinds to a screeching halt? It's enough to make your palms sweat and your heart race, am I right? But here's the thing, those awkward moments, those cringe-worthy pauses, they're not something to be feared, they're something to be embraced. Because let's be real, the ability to navigate those tricky situations with grace and humor is what separates the conversational champions from the also-rans. And let's not forget the power of vulnerability. When you're willing to lean into the awkwardness, to acknowledge the elephant in the room and even poke a little fun at it, you instantly become more relatable, more approachable, and more trustworthy. After all, who doesn't love a conversational partner who's willing to laugh at themselves? But here's the truth, my friends. Banishing the awkward elephant takes practice, and you're going to stumble a few times along the way. There will be moments where you try to diffuse the tension with a joke that falls flatter than a pancake, or where you end up rambling on about your third cousin's pet hamster in a desperate attempt to fill the silence. And let's be real, if you can't figure this out, you might as well just resign yourself to a lifetime of awkward silences and involuntary celibacy. But you know what they say, if at first you don't succeed, try again. And trust me, the more you put yourself out there, the more comfortable you'll become. Before you know it, you'll be navigating those awkward moments with the grace and finesse of a seasoned improv artist, leaving your conversation partners in awe of your conversational prowess. So, the next time you find yourself in a social situation and the dreaded awkward elephant rears its ugly head, don't panic. Embrace the cringe, lean into the discomfort, and watch as you transform from a conversational wallflower to a veritable social butterfly. Just remember to keep it genuine, keep it relatable, and for the love of all that is holy, don't forget to have a little fun with it. Because let's be real, what's the point of being a conversational ninja if you can't keep your audience entertained? 5. Ditch the performance, embrace authenticity. Leave the script at home and show up as your unfiltered, imperfect self. Listen up, because I'm about to let you in on a little secret that's going to change the way you approach every single interaction from here on out. Ready for it? Here it is. Being a better conversationalist isn't about putting on a show, it's about ditching the script and embracing your unfiltered, imperfect self. You know the type, those people who seem to have a mental checklist of topics they're determined to cover, no matter how much you try to steer the conversation in a different direction. It's like they're so busy trying to impress you with their wit, their knowledge, or their endless list of accomplishments that you end up feeling like a captive audience just waiting for the curtain to finally drop. Talk about a conversational buzzkill, am I right? But what if I told you that the secret to being a better conversationalist is to toss the facade and let your true self shine through? Because let's be real, authenticity is magnetic, and nothing captivates an audience like genuine, unpolished charm. Think about the last time you were with a group of friends and someone started sharing a story that was a little rough around the edges, maybe even a bit cringeworthy. Chances are you didn't tune them out or start mentally planning your escape. You leaned in, eager to hear more. Why? Because there's something about that raw, unfiltered honesty that instantly draws us in and makes us feel connected. And let's not forget the power of vulnerability. When you're willing to let your guard down, to acknowledge your flaws and imperfections, you instantly become more relatable, more approachable, and more trustworthy. After all, who doesn't love a conversational partner who's willing to laugh at themselves? But here's the truth, my friends. Ditching the performance and embracing authenticity takes courage, and you're going to stumble a few times along the way. There will be moments where you try to inject a little too much of your quirky personality into the conversation, only to be met with a sea of blank stares. But you know what they say, if at first you don't succeed, try again. And trust me, the more you put yourself out there, the more comfortable you'll become. Before you know it, you'll be navigating those social situations with the effortless charm of a seasoned pro, leaving your conversation partners in awe of your conversational prowess. So, the next time you find yourself in a social setting, don't be afraid to ditch the script and let your true self shine through. Embrace your quirks, your flaws, and your unpolished charm, and watch as you transform from a conversational wallflower to a veritable social butterfly. Just remember to keep it genuine, keep it relatable, and for the love of all that is holy, don't forget to have a little fun with it. Because let's be real, what's the point of being a conversational ninja if you can't keep your audience entertained? Alright folks, now that we've unpacked the essential mindset shifts to supercharge your conversational game in chapter 1, it's time to dive into the juicy hacks that will take your dialogues from bland to brilliant. Remember, it's not just about thinking differently, it's about putting those thoughts into action. So, grab your mental notepads as we journey from self-reflection to practical application. Get ready to level up your conversational charm with these irresistible hacks. 1. The power of the pause. Master the art of silence. Alright, let's cut the small talk and get real for a minute, shall we? We've all been there. You're in the middle of a conversation, the momentum starts to fizzle out, and suddenly the silence becomes so deafening you can practically hear the crickets chirping. It's the conversational equivalent of hitting a brick wall, and it's enough to make even the most seasoned social butterfly break out in a cold sweat. But here's the brutal truth, folks. That awkward silence might just be the key to taking your conversational skills to the next level. That's right, my friends. The power of the pause is a secret weapon that far too many people are afraid to wield. You see, we live in a world where constant chatter is the norm. We're bombarded with information, stimuli, and the relentless need to fill every single silence with mindless babble. And when it comes to conversations, far too many people fall into the trap of being compulsive chatterboxes, afraid to let even a moment of quiet creep in. But here's the thing, those pregnant pauses, those moments of silence, can be the most powerful tools in your conversational arsenal. They give the other person a chance to process what you've said, to formulate their own thoughts and responses, and when used with intention and confidence, they can create a sense of connection and shared understanding that you just can't get from a constant stream of words. I know what you're thinking, but what if the other person thinks I'm just awkward and uncomfortable? Well, my friend, that's where the art of the pause comes in. It's all about timing, delivery, and most importantly, confidence. When you pause, do it with purpose. Lean back, make eye contact, and let the silence linger for just a moment. Don't be afraid to let it simmer, to let the tension build. And then, when the time is right, drop your next gem of wisdom or witty observation and watch the conversation flourish. It's like a well-choreographed dance where you're leading your partner through the steps, guiding them to a place of deeper understanding and connection. And the best part? It's a skill that anyone can learn with a little practice and a whole lot of courage. So the next time you find yourself in a conversational lull, don't panic. Embrace the pause, let it work its magic, and watch as you transform from a conversational wallflower to a veritable social butterfly. Who knows, you might even find yourself the life of the party, captivating everyone in the room with your masterful use of the almighty silence. Just remember, my friends, when it comes to being a better conversationalist, sometimes less is more. So, go forth, conquer those awkward silences, and show the world just how powerful a well-timed pause can be. 2. Mirror, mirror, reflective listening for connection. Alright folks, let's talk about the secret sauce to becoming a conversational rock star. And no, it's not a PhD in small talk or a black belt in dad jokes, although those certainly don't hurt. It's all about channeling your inner chameleon and mastering the art of mirroring. Now, I know what you're thinking. Mirroring, isn't that just some weird psychological trick to make people like me? Well, my friends, let me tell you, it's so much more than that. It's about subtly reflecting the energy and tone of the person you're talking to, creating a harmonious, conversational dance that leaves them feeling understood, connected, and maybe even a little bit smitten. Think about it this way. Have you ever been in a conversation where the other person just seemed to get you, like they were on the same wavelength? That's the power of reflective listening in action. By paying attention to the other person's tone, body language, and overall vibe, you can create a sense of rapport and connection that goes beyond just the words being exchanged. And let's be real, who doesn't love feeling understood and validated? When you mirror the other person's energy, it's like you're saying, I hear you, I see you, and I'm right here with you. It's a surefire way to make the other person feel comfortable, engaged, and more likely to open up and share their thoughts and experiences. But here's the truth. It takes practice, my friends. Mirroring isn't something that comes naturally to everyone, and it can feel a bit awkward at first. But trust me, the more you do it, the more it'll become second nature. And the payoff is huge. Not only will you become a better conversationalist, but you'll also start to build deeper, more meaningful connections with the people in your life. Imagine being that person who can effortlessly navigate any social situation, leaving a trail of captivated listeners in their wake. The life of the party, the networking ninja, the smooth operator who can strike up a conversation with a brick wall and have it hanging on their every word. Sounds pretty darn appealing, doesn't it? Well, my friends, the secret to becoming that conversational rock star lies in the art of reflective listening. So, go forth, mirror like a boss, and watch as your conversations transform from awkward small talk to engaging, meaningful exchanges that leave everyone wondering, how do they do it? Just don't forget to throw in a few well-timed winks and playful nudges for good measure. After all, what's the point of being a conversational chameleon if you can't have a little fun with it? 3. The Goldilocks Principle, finding the just right depth. Let's talk about the art of finding that elusive conversational sweet spot. You know, the place where the dialogue is just right. Because let's be real, we've all been there before, stuck in a conversational rut, bouncing back and forth between mind-numbing small talk and soul-bearing confessions that make everyone in the room want to spontaneously combust. It's like trying to find the perfect temperature for your porridge, except instead of bears, you've got a room full of judgmental humans, all silently critiquing your conversational prowess. And let's be honest, most of you are about as smooth as a cactus in a sandstorm. Now, I know what you're thinking, but how do I know when to go deep and when to keep it light? Well, my conversational comrades, it's all about finding that Goldilocks sweet spot where the connection thrives and everyone feels comfortable and engaged. And let's be real, if you can't figure that out, you might as well just give up and become a hermit. Think about it this way. Have you ever been in a conversation where the other person just jumps straight into their life story, complete with a detailed account of their last colonoscopy? Yeah, me neither, and I'm pretty sure I don't want to. On the flip side, have you ever been stuck in a never-ending loop of how's the weather and did you catch the game last night? It's enough to make your eyes glaze over and your soul wither. The key is to start with the surface level stuff, the easy breezy chit chat that helps you get a feel for the other person's vibe. Ask about their day, their hobbies, their favorite TV shows, the kind of stuff that doesn't require a deep dive into their psyche. But then, as the conversation progresses, slowly start to peel back the layers, finding common ground and shared experiences that you can explore in a more meaningful way. It's a delicate dance, my friends, but when you get it right, the results can be nothing short of magical. Suddenly, you're not just two people making small talk. You're two kindred spirits, connected on a deeper level, sharing stories and insights that leave you both feeling energized, inspired, and maybe even a little bit closer. But here's the brutal truth. Finding that Goldilocks sweet spot takes practice, and you're going to stumble a few times along the way. There will be moments where you dive too deep too soon, and the other person looks at you like you've just grown a second head. And there will be times where you play it so safe that the conversation feels about as exciting as watching paint dry. And let's be real, if you can't figure this out, you might as well just resign yourself to a lifetime of awkward silences and involuntary celibacy. But you know what they say? If at first you don't succeed, try again. And with each conversation, each awkward moment, you'll get a little bit better, a little bit more confident in your ability to navigate those conversational waters. So, the next time you find yourself in a social situation, remember the Goldilocks principle. Not too deep, not too shallow, but just right. Start with the easy stuff, build that rapport, and then slowly, oh so slowly, start to peel back the layers. And who knows, you might just find yourself the life of the party, captivating everyone in the room with your conversational prowess. Just don't forget to throw in a few well-timed jokes and playful jabs for good measure. After all, what's the point of being a conversational maestro if you can't have a little fun with it? 4. The magic of storytelling. Paint pictures with words. If you're looking to level up your conversational skills and become the life of the party, forget about memorizing a million random facts or mastering the art of small talk, although those certainly don't hurt. No, the true secret to captivating conversations lies in the power of storytelling. You see, we humans are hardwired for stories. We love to be transported to new worlds, to connect with relatable characters, and to be left hanging on the edge of our seats, eager to find out what happens next. And when you harness that storytelling magic, you can transform even the most mundane anecdotes into captivating tales that leave your audience hanging on your every word. But I know what you're thinking. But I'm not some master storyteller like J.K. Rowling or Stephen King. How the heck am I supposed to turn my boring life into a captivating narrative? Well, my socially challenged friends, the secret lies in a little something called authenticity and a healthy dose of humor. You see, the key to great storytelling isn't about embellishing the facts or trying to be someone you're not. It's about tapping into your own unique experiences, your quirks, and your personal brand of weirdness, and weaving them into a tale that's both relatable and engaging. Think about the last time you were with a group of friends, swapping stories and laughing until your sides hurt. Chances are, the stories that stood out the most weren't the ones that were perfectly polished and rehearsed. They were the ones that were raw, honest, and sprinkled with a healthy dose of self-deprecating humor. And let's not forget the power of sensory details. When you paint a vivid picture with your words, you draw your audience in, making them feel like they're right there in the moment with you. Describe the sights, the sounds, the smells, anything that can help transport them to the scene you're describing. But here's the brutal truth, my friends. Storytelling is a skill, and like any skill, it takes practice. There will be times when you stumble over your words, or when your punchline falls flat, leaving you standing there like a deer in the headlights. But you know what they say, if at first you don't succeed, try again. And trust me, the more you put yourself out there, the more comfortable you'll become. Before you know it, you'll be weaving tales that have your audience in stitches, captivated by your wit, your charm, and your uncanny ability to turn the mundane into the magnificent. So, the next time you find yourself in a social situation, don't be afraid to let your inner storyteller shine. Embrace your quirks, your experiences, and your unique brand of humor, and watch as you transform from a conversational wallflower to a veritable social butterfly. Just remember to keep it authentic, keep it relatable, and for the love of all that is holy, don't forget to have a little fun with it. Because let's be real, what's the point of being a conversational maestro if you can't keep your audience entertained? 5. Exit strategy. Gracefully wrapping up conversations. Bid adieu with finesse and leave your conversational counterpart wanting more. Alright, my fellow conversational ninjas, let's talk about the secret to wrapping up a conversation with style and finesse. Because let's be real, when it comes to being a better conversationalist, knowing how to gracefully conclude a dialogue is just as important as knowing how to start one. Think about it. You can be the most engaging, charismatic speaker in the room, captivating your audience with your wit and charm. But if you can't stick the landing and exit the conversation with the same level of poise and elegance, all of that hard work can go right out the window. It's like trying to nail a triple axel in figure skating only to faceplant on the landing. All that effort wasted. Whether it's a well-timed compliment, a sincere thank you, or a smooth segue into your next engagement, knowing when and how to gracefully conclude a conversation is a true superpower that can elevate your social game to new heights. Think about the last time you were in a conversation that just seemed to drag on and on, with both parties desperately searching for a way to politely disengage. It's an awkward and uncomfortable situation that can leave a lasting negative impression, even if the rest of the interaction was pleasant. But when you nail the exit strategy, it's like magic. You leave your conversational counterpart feeling valued, appreciated, and eager to pick up where you left off the next time you cross paths. It's a surefire way to build rapport, create a lasting impression, and maybe even score a few extra points in the social currency department. And let's not forget the power of timing. The key is to know when to make your move. Not too early, when the conversation is still going strong, but not too late, when you've already overstayed your welcome and the other person is mentally planning their escape route. But here's the truth, my friends. Mastering the art of the exit strategy takes practice, and you're going to stumble a few times along the way. There will be moments where you try to slip away, only to have the other person latch onto you like a barnacle on a ship's hull, dragging you back into the conversational abyss. But you know what they say, if at first you don't succeed, try again. And trust me, the more you put yourself out there, the more comfortable you'll become. Before you know it, you'll be executing flawless exit strategies that leave your conversational counterparts wondering, how did they do it? So, the next time you find yourself in a social situation, don't be afraid to start planning your grand finale, whether it's a sincere compliment, a heartfelt thank you, or a smooth segue into your next engagement. Embrace your inner conversational ninja and show the world just how gracefully you can make your exit. Just remember to keep it genuine, keep it relatable, and for the love of all that is holy, don't forget to have a little fun with it. Because let's be real, what's the point of being a conversational maestro if you can't leave a lasting impression?